Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Phoenix Rise podcast. Claire here, your host. So happy to have you with us. So if you're new to the tribe, welcome. This is the place where we talk all things spirituality and success, 3D and 5D, ambition and awakening. Because guess what? You get to have it all. There's no need to sacrifice. You get the best of both worlds. You know why? Because you were born worthy. Now, I've got a really exciting topic that I want to talk to you about today. Now, I've had an absolutely chaotic week, right? I've had the launch of my first ever signature program, the Visionary Academy. We've had an event that we did at the Gem and Mineral Show for the crystal business over the weekend. And I'm now just like, ooh, come back, ground myself down. It's been a busy kind of week with a lot going on. And there's something that happened that I really want to share with you all about this 100K launch that I had without actually making any sales. And this is so exciting and something that I really want to dive into, because this is a big part of what I teach, right? In the Visionary Academy, this is all about your energetics around money, your energetics around wealth, and also your energetics around the outcomes or the results that you expect or that you put on yourself as to what means whether you are deemed a success or a failure, right? How do you perceive that to be, that result? What outcome have you placed on it? And so we're going to dive in. I'm going to share basically my story as to what happened, and we'll kind of unpin it a little bit and give you some tangible things that you can actually implement into your life to be able to allow money to flow to you in whatever avenue it wants to. Right? So we're not closing ourselves off to only one source. We're not saying, okay, if this particular thing doesn't give me, 10 figures this month, then that's not working. So we're gonna rework some of this mindset and really dive into it. So I've been working on the Visionary Academy for the last probably like couple of months in my mind, and then actually building it out, right? Building out the funnels, building out the masterclass, the lead magnets, working out the journey, the transformation that I want to give people through the 6-month program. A lot of my masculine energy has been into this, but I've also been very grounded. I've been very in flow, only doing it when it feels right, not forcing things. That's why it took a little bit longer for me to launch than I'd initially kind of planned, right? I just let go of that date and I was just like, it will come when it's ready to channel through me. So the first release was in the deadline that I had set myself, like the launch date that I had set myself. And instead of feeling kind of stressed out about that and pressured to get everything ready for that, I released that. And I just said, you know what? Why does it matter? Why does it matter if I stick to this date or not? What effect does it have on anything other than making me feel stressed, making me feel pressurized to force things when they're not ready yet? And the irony is, as soon as I released that, the flow started to channel, right? The intuition started to speak. The creativity started to come. And it was just like, a weight off my shoulders. And so I didn't have any date set until I was about 3 weeks away from having everything ready. Like the masterclass was ready, the funnels were ready. I knew what was going in the course, had built out the first module, and then I set the launch date. So I was like, okay, everything is kind of ready anyway. So now I can launch it and there's no pressure for me to force anything during this time. I can build out more things when and as they come, but there's no pressure because everything's just ready. It's ready for the right people to come when they're ready. And so that was the first thing that I did. Okay. I released all egotistic deadlines, right? That were coming from my ego, making me feel like I had to be in control. So the first thing I did was release that. And then let me talk you through the day itself, because honestly, you couldn't make it up even if you wanted to. So by this point, I had released any outcome. Okay. I was in the energy of, this is ready to be birthed. Like, I feel ready for the world to have this amazing transformation, this amazing experience that they can go through, this amazing new way of being, right? The Visionary Academy is all about being. Stop the yearning for more and start becoming the more. Start being who you're here to be, the visionary, right? So I was at one with that, and I was like, yes, it's ready. I'm ready. The time is ready. Like, it just all felt aligned. It was in alignment. It was in flow. It was in ease. There was no forcing. There was no pushing. There was no kind of masculine energy trying to barge its way forward. Like, this is just feminine flow and just like deliciousness, right? So I had released any I'm trying to think of a good word, any kind of synergy between how many people bought the program and whether I deemed that as a success or a failure. Now, I want to step this back a little bit, because that doesn't mean that I didn't have a manifestation, right? It doesn't mean that I didn't have a goal or something that I wanted to happen, because I had been manifesting a 6K launch, a 6-figure launch. Okay, I wanted a 100K launch. But this is the really important bit. But I had released that to the universe. So I had put it out there. This is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to happen. This is the frequency that I am in. I am in the energy of having a 6-figure launch. I am in the energy of being able to attract that kind of wealth in one day. Like, that is where I put myself. And that's a whole nother episode as to how I regulated and adjusted to that frequency and relaxed my nervous system and was really in it, really embodied it. And then I released it. I didn't force it. I didn't push it. I followed my intuitive plan. So I had a little bit of a kind of masculine strategy plan, but I always allow myself to play. Any kind of masculine container that I have in any of my businesses, I always allow myself to play with it. So if I want to tweak things, if I want to show up in a different way, if I don't want to talk about that day, I want to mix it up, I allow myself to do that, because I very much trust that my intuition will guide me, will lead me to the right things for the right people. So I was fully at one with the whole process. And so in releasing that outcome to the universe, I was able to just be showing up in the energy of service, to be in the energy of excitement, to be in the energy of rebirth, right? Rebirthing this into the world, rebirthing myself through the process, because as I was going through this new process, I'd never launched an online program before, not like this. That was new for me. I was becoming someone else through that process, as well as other people. And so this was a whole journey of my own in its own right. Yeah. And so as I went through that, I was able to hold that frequency of, this will be a 6-figure launch, regardless of what 3D results I see. Yeah. So whether that comes into my bank or not, whether that means that many people sign up or not, I was holding the frequency of having a 6-figure launch. I was in it. I was in the flow. I was in the alignment. I was in the abundance, the energetic frequency of wealth. And so we come to launch day, and I was not nervous. I was not stressed. I was not worried. I was not in my head This is all stuff that a few years ago I would have been, right? I would have been like, what if people don't show up to my masterclass? What if no one likes it? What if no one buys? That means it's all been a waste of time, a waste of resource, a waste of my energy. No one likes me. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I knew I couldn't do this. It was going to be a failure from the start. Why did I even bother? All of this stuff would have been going around in my head, right? To the point where I would have then showed up to the masterclass and I would have been in that frequency of one, scarcity. So I need to get X amount of money through this or I'm a failure. So I would have been in a scarcity mindset of like, I can't get my words out this morning, of desperation, like wanting the money, like I want the money, I need the money, otherwise I'm a failure. Right? That is what would have been happening in my mind. And I share this with you because this is such taboo conversations, right? This is conversations that we feel a lot of shame around. And so I see my job, my purpose, my dharma in life is to be super vulnerable with you guys, with my tribe, with the world, because my human design is to lead by example, to learn lessons the hard way, and to help you not do that, to help you know the right way from the beginning by sharing what I have experienced and what I have been through and what I have learned from. Believe me, I've learned a lot in my 37 years of being in this world, in this lifetime, right? 10 of them in the entrepreneurial world. So forget where I was now. Okay, so yeah, day of the launch. And I was just in the energy of, in fact, that day, I went to the spa, I went to Nuffield, had a workout, went to the gym. No, I don't actually think I went to the gym. I intended to go to the gym, but I went to the sauna instead. So I went to the sauna, went and had a jacuzzi, did a meditation, had a walk in nature, just was living my best life. Right? Just doing whatever the hell I wanted to do, whatever my body was telling me to do. Rewind 3 years ago, I would have been working, like posting as much as I possibly could on socials, sending out as many emails as I could, like literally hustle to make sure that this was a success. That would have been my mindset. But because I had allowed myself to not fall into that trap, to get off of that hamster wheel and to step into the feminine energetics, the feminine flow, which is a big part of the Visionary Academy and what we teach in there, live life your way, create success your way. Don't just leave a legacy, live a legacy. You don't need to burn out to do it. You don't need to subscribe to the whole sacrifice equals success. In order to create the impact and the income that you want, there are better ways. I've done it both, right? It's by far is my favorite. So on that day, I just was being. I was just being the person I'm here to be. I was in my highest frequency. I was excited. I was excited. What's another word? Just excited. Yeah, really excited about getting it out into the world, being able to finally talk about it. Because obviously, like in a leader, you don't really talk about it because no one knows what you're talking about. You haven't released it yet. So being able to finally start talking about this amazing thing that I had birthed, that was really exciting to me. And so it came to the masterclass. And I think there were about 12 people that came to the live masterclass. Obviously, it's on replay, so it's on Evergreen. So people can join this at any point, right? Which is a whole other conversation in itself. If you're putting things on Evergreen, you don't need to have any pressure about what happens on one day, because it's going to be out there, until you stop it being out there. It's out there forever. And people will find it at the right time for them. So the masterclass came and I just had the best time. And I've forgotten to tell you the most important bit. Before the masterclass, I got on such a thing there about the actual process. But before the masterclass, right, So I got home, done the school run, picked up my little one, got home, walked in the door, and literally as soon as I walked in the door, I had a text from the director of one of my other businesses, and he said, Claire, I've just signed a 100K contract. Like XXX, he's really happy, like blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, shut the front door. Are you shitting me? And in that moment, it took me a minute to kind of comprehend what had happened. And I was like, I've just attracted 6 figures on the day that I had set out, and I haven't sold anything yet. I haven't even launched yet. This is like an hour before, right? But I had attracted the 6 figures into my life, into my orbit, into my 3D reality. And this is the important bit, right? So I went on to do the masterclass, had an absolute ball, absolutely loved it. The feedback was amazing. I had no signups that day. No signups that day, okay? I did not deem that as a failure. I did not deem that as any kind of correlation to me, to my success, to the program itself, to, my worth, any of that. Complete detachment. Because I knew that I was being of service. I was here to help people. And I had been in the energetic frequency of attracting those 6 figures. And I had released the outcome so much so that the universe was able to co-conspire and bring it to me through whatever way it deemed fit, through whatever channel it deemed fit. And this is the important bit, right? Our egos try and control everything. Our egos try and dictate, okay, money needs to flow through this funnel, money needs to flow through this business. If I launch this program, XYZ money needs to flow through there. Why? Why does it matter where it flows from? Right? If you're a visionary entrepreneur, you should have more than one offer anyway. You need an offer suite for your clients. So you should have at least 3 ways that money can flow to you. 3 ways to be of service to your dream clients. Yeah. If you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur like me, you might have several businesses, many different avenues which money can flow to you. And so this is what I want you to realize, that our egos are the ones that try and dictate where and how money flows. But our job is to conduit money, okay? Not to contain it. We are a conduit. It needs to flow through us, and then it flows through us to other people, right? To other sources, to other energetic frequencies. And so our job is just to hold the frequency, hold the energetic vibration of that wealth. Be that person. Be that person. Be living the life that that person lives. And this doesn't mean, I have to book a round the world trip and, go and be in Hawaii for the next month. No, we're talking about energy, right? We're talking about frequency of not being in the hustle, do, because that's how I make more money. That's how I maximize my chances of success, because that doesn't work. Otherwise, every millionaire, every billionaire, every 6-figure entrepreneur would be working their arse off. But the more money you make, the more successful you are, the less you work. That is how it works, because that's when you hold the frequency of wealth. In that being, in that presence, in that trust, in that alignment. And that's not to say you don't work hard, okay? I had, like I said, I had a busy week this last week, but that's not my week every week. And when I say busy, in relation to how I was working like 3 years ago, it was nowhere near like that. We're not talking hustle, grind, burnout busy. We're just talking, there was a lot of things, a lot of plates to juggle in the same week. But I have a team, and I delegate, and I outsource, and I just do the things that I need to do, right? That are in my zone of genius, that need me behind them. They need my energy behind them, because that's part of my service to who I'm here to serve. And so your job as an entrepreneur, as a visionary, as a trailblazer, as a path maker, right? You're here to make your own path, not to walk the same one that others have walked. Is to hold the frequency, release the outcome, release the how, focus on the why. And I've done loads of podcasts on this before as well, but if you hold the frequency and you focus on your why, what you're doing, why you're doing it, who you're here to help, the universe will align the rest. And it doesn't always happen how we think it should or could or would happen. It hadn't even occurred to me that I could attract that 6-figure launch day, whatever you want to phrase it as, through a different avenue in my other businesses. I hadn't even considered that, but I was so released from it that I had just let it out to the universe. I had just said, right, this is what I'm manifesting. I'm going to hold the frequency. I'm going to hold the vibration. I'm going to show up 100% of service and do what I'm here to do and help the people that I'm here to help. And the rest is up to you. Okay. The rest is up to you, universe. And it did its own thing. And it can surprise us, right? It can come and we're like, oh, I didn't even consider that could happen. And so what I want you to realize from this episode is, one, what you deem as a success or a failure is your ego. Okay. It's the outcome, the result, the attachment that you have to what happens. But if you release that and you say, yeah, okay, this is great. This is what I want to manifest. This is the result that I would like, but I'm releasing it because I know that the universe will deliver either something greater or something that is more aligned or something that I'm meant to have more to me. Because we don't always know what is best for us. We don't always know what is going to happen. Well, we don't ever know what is going to happen, tomorrow, a week, a month, a year's time. The universe is always lining things up for us. And if we're so focused on trying to control everything, then we can never get to that. We can never get to that great thing that we're meant for. We can never get to that great experience, that great opportunity, because we haven't allowed the universe to bring it into our lives, into our paths, into our journeys, because we've been so focused on controlling the outcome, on controlling the direction, on controlling everything that happens in our world. So number one, release any attachment to the outcome. Yes, manifest it. Yes, take aligned action towards it. Yes, show up 100% in your highest frequency, being of service, and release any attachment to the outcome. Trust that whatever happens for you, not to you. Number two, your job is to hold the frequency, hold the vibration, not do. Because that is not your highest vibration. You cannot attract high figures of wealth from that energy of hustle, from that energy of grind, from that energy of burnout. Does not happen, cannot happen. The two energetic frequencies do not align. They are not a magnetic match. You have to get out of that rat race, get off of the hamster wheel, delegate, outsource, pass it to your team, stay in your zone of genius, stay in the area that you are here to be of service, and release the rest to other people. Learn to be a leader. Learn to be a CEO. Learn to be someone who holds the frequency and channels the rest to people who are far better at it than you, because you can't be great at everything. As much as you might say, well, I can do it. Of course you can do it. Do you want to do it? Should you do it? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself. Why? Why do you feel that you have to spend 6 hours trying to get your head around, the next funnel or your next marketing campaign or whatever it is, when you've got someone, either a VA or your PA or a member of your team, that can do it in like 5 minutes? Why do you feel the need to do that? That's a whole nother episode there, right? Because you're not releasing, you're not holding the highest frequency to attract high frequency back. And that is what wealth is, right? It's high frequency vibration. So release the outcome, stay in your zone of genius, be of service. Just remember your why. Why are you doing whatever you're doing? Why are you launching whatever you're launching? Stay in that energy of being of service, but be very careful of when that energy changes to desperation or to validation or to something that you feel you need to be doing in order to get the result that you want. That goes back to the releasing the outcome. So stay very aware of your energetics through your launch process. And then when it comes to D-Day, have fun. Have fun. Do what you're here to do. Be who you're here to be. Shine your light that you have for others to see. Stay in that magnetic, high-level frequency. And trust that the right people will find you. It might not be on that day, right? The result that you want might not happen on that day. It might channel through another way that you just haven't even comprehended, you haven't even contemplated. But the universe is lining it all up in a quantum field. And that's how you can have your six-figure launch, by just staying in the energetic frequency. This really does come down to not being on that hamster wheel, not being in the rat race, not being in the energy of, I need to do more to get more. I need to do more to see more results. I need to do more so that more people find me. I need to do more so that more people show up. I need to do more so that more people buy. That is not the frequency that will attract those six figures. So if you want to learn more about staying in that frequency, about creating a business in the feminine energetics rather than in the masculine do, if you want to be living your legacy rather than just leaving it, have fun, be here, be who you're here to be, enjoy life, create the big impact, the big income that you're here to make. If you want all of that, then the Visionary Academy is for you. So I will put the link to my free masterclass, the masterclass that I talked about, down below. You can watch the replay, and that will lead you to the doors being open for the Visionary Academy. If you feel that it's the right fit, if you feel that it's in alignment, if you feel that you're ready to stop dreaming and start doing, right? Stop yearning and start being, then it's for you. Let's make next year the year that you start becoming, that you start to realize that your dreams are possible. They're not just possible, they're inevitable, and they're meant for you. So I hope this was useful for you. I would love you to leave a review, share it with your communities, with your friends, with your family, with your teams. It just helps me get the message out to more people to start stepping out of the shadows, start stepping into their light, start taking up space, start being the visionary, start being the thought leader, start being the trailblazer that you're here to be. So until next time, sending you much love, and I will see you all soon.